Shu Shu Carrington, what's up, sir? How you doing, man?
My guy, how you doing, man? Good
Good
to
to
see
see
you,
you.
man.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Man, the return. Well, first, before we start anything else, man, congratulations. 2020, 23 Prospect of the Year, man. Just,
Thank you. Thank you.
take me into, your mindset when, you got the call, whatever you saw the headline, whatever it was. Like, how was it that you were informed and just, what did that feel like? How'd you celebrate?
Well, on the ESPN one, I was in the gym just finishing up training, and K, he's on his phone. Coach K, he's on his phone. He's like, yo, shoot, I think you won. I'm like, won what? And then he comes to me and shows me on his phone. I'm like, oh, like it was so like, it was funny because that day I was just having like a slow day in the gym, but that kind of like, you know, amped me up. I was like, man, like I'm super happy. I was so like hype, man. I was like, super excited. And in the ring, I believe I can't remember how I found out with the ring, man. Uh no, I actually found it on Instagram. Someone tagged me in it and I was ecstatic. I'm like, the ring and ESPN, like I mean, listen, I don't know how many boxers have done that. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, you can look in the history books. I don't know who's done it, but in my head, I'm the first one to do it. So we're gonna keep it at that, man.
Hey,
I'm
I
super
I haven't
excited.
checked, so to me you are too, as of right now.
Yeah, I'm super
Uh,
happy about it, man. We really worked hard 2023 to make sure that we're noticed, to make sure that we make some noise, and I'm just really happy that everything that we worked on is actually like happening. You know what I mean? It was everything is happening. So 2024 is gonna be a sweet year for us, for real.
Man, it's an incredible accomplishment, and I mean, man, first fight of the year is on the network, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You're on ESPN. Does that
yes.
I don't know that is, obviously every fight is like the next big fight, right? Is the only
Mhm.
fight. But, does this is progressively the next step, ESPN. Is
Yeah.
that add anything to you? Is that any, you know what I mean? Like any extra pressure or I don't know, do you feel anything different now that it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna be on TV?
Yeah, it's definitely give extra pressure, but it makes me more inclined to put on a show. Like a dominating show. Not no, I'm not into no wars. That's not what I do. I dissect my opponents and take the best attribute away from them.
Mhm.
So this makes me more inclined to do so because it's my first time fighting on ESPN. My very first time, and I'm fighting at home. Man, we're gonna make it big. We're gonna do it big, like we always do it. But this one's gonna be a little different, man. This one is like, uh a statement for everybody in the 126 division, the featherweight division for the whole 2024. Like they're gonna be see me climb up them ranks real fast because I'm, gonna be just dismantling my opponents the way that I'm gonna be doing. I'm already ranked number 8 in the WBO, and we cracked the top 10. I'm only been boxing for how many 2 years. Man, listen, we gonna take over the world of boxing sooner or later. It's just a matter of time at this point. Everybody had their fun. When I was amateur, they had their fun, they had their shine. I'm here now.
Right. It's the shoot time.
Yeah,
Jason Sanchez, he fought some good fighters, right?
yeah,
Valdez,
yeah,
Christopher Diaz. I know this is kind of the natural progression, and I feel like I ask a lot of prospects this question. Do you look at the victories by Valdez and Diaz and try to think, okay, I have to like outdo these guys, or you just I got to do me and execute the game plan and just get the W, or you get kind of in the back of your mind like, I mean, it'd be dope to look better than some of these guys.
I mean, to be honest, like I like to just stick to the game plan to whatever me and my team have come up with. Whatever is the best interest of the team and how things are supposed to, follow through. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't try to, you know, I mean, I have a little competitive attitude. Let me not try to front and like act like I don't want to do better than the last guy or whatever. But I will say, like, my priority is to be able to, execute the game plan. And we come up with a great game plan each and every time, single time I fight. I will say I did not expect to stop him that early. I thought I was going to stop him for sure, but I didn't think I was going to stop him that early. And because I've seen him get dropped, I've seen him get hurt. Excuse me, I've seen him get dropped, I've seen him get hurt, but I've seen him fight harder when he gets hurt or gets dropped. So I'm just like, okay, even when I caught him with that big hook in the second round, I'm like, okay, he's gonna, I dropped him, he's gonna take the count and kind of like come out hard. But I think my punch just affected him too much to where he couldn't really defend himself as much as he did with his past opponents. And I recognized it and got him up out of there. So in my mind, before and after the fight, I understand one thing. Oscar Valdez is a great fighter, former world champ, done what he's done in the game already. That's great. But I'm different. I'm Bruce Shu Shu Carrington, and I know I'm on a different level. But it's just me convincing the rest of the world that I'm on a different level. I'm new right now, relatively, but everybody kind of, they see what I'm capable of. They see how far I can go. But I really want to make everybody believers. Like Shu Shu is going to be one of the ones when they talk about Mike Tyson, Zab Judah, excuse me, Mike Tyson, well, Zab Judah too, you know what I mean? All my Brownsville greats. But Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, Shu Shu Carrington is going to be in that conversation as well.
Mhm. Man, I can't wait. I love the manifestation of where you want to go. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I really appreciate that. You know, New York, I feel like you're kind of part of this resurgence of like fighters from that area, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
bringing crowds and stuff. I've been to New York when you fought, you know, in the room, you
Yeah,
know,
The
in
Hulu
the
Theater.
theater. Just what does that feel like? What is, you know, kind of like being in these places of like, wow, like I'm where I saw these guys fight, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Where I've, you know, kind of been watching boxing and I'm at this pinnacle now.
Man, it's like a dream come true. I mean, I used to watch like guys um in the pros, like when I was a little kid, and they're just watching them fight in the Madison Square Garden, whether if it's the Hulu Theater or the big room. And I just like, man, like I can't wait to fight there one day. And now this is my fourth time fighting in the Hulu Theater, fourth time fighting in Madison Square Garden. Man, this is like the best experience in the world, man. And then let alone like the New York crowd. Oh man, the New York crowd is always electric. It's like they just love to watch boxing. They love to watch, you know, like people get it on. And then let alone their local fighters. Man, like I'm supremely, proud to be a New York fighter. And I just know that, everybody's gonna come out and and put on for me, man, when I fight the next fight, man. I just want to continue to put on great performances for them.
Definitely, man. You know, another New York fighter fighting in a couple weeks here, Teofimo Lopez. You
Yeah,
know, I know you guys know each other from
yeah,
over there and just amateurs and stuff like that.
for sure.
You
Yeah.
know, I want to ask you, I don't know if I've ever got a chance to ask you, do you consider Teofimo Lopez the first male two-time undisputed champion, or is it just kind of is what it is? Like, I know you know Terrence too, you know, my bad, you know, Terrence always
Yeah.
this as well, right? But you know, I mean, T Terrence officially has it, but you know, Teofimo did beat the guys who beat the guys, right, in both divisions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would like to, but I'm still true to myself and how the technicalities of things. So, I mean, Terrence, he's the first one. But Tio, man, he is remarkable with what he's done in his career already. He's a young dude, bro, and he's able to do what he did. And he spoke it into existence too. Him and his dad, before they fought Lomachenko, man, they was like, in this number of fights, we're gonna fight Lomachenko, we're gonna beat him. And he did it. Like, you can't have nothing but respect for a guy like that, man. Like, he is a true threat to the game, to anybody in his division, a true threat to, the whole, sport of boxing when it comes to like, that whole 140 division and everything. Like, man, like, listen, he's someone that, people have to really, train hard for and work hard for to be able to beat him, man.
Mhm.
I got number of respect for Tio.
You know, you know, it just so happens, right? He's calling out Terrence Crawford as well recently,
I
which I
saw
feel
that.
like
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
you know, one of the few, if any, guys I hear saying Crawford's name like that. You know,
yeah.
I heard Keyshawn Davis say that, you know, maybe it's not a good idea for Teofimo. You know, he's been in the ring with both guys, just kind of knowing both guys, having been close to both guys. You know, do you think the fight actually happens? And two, you know, if it were to happen, I mean, what does it look like?
Right now, speaking of today, I don't think it'll happen. But if it was to happen, I mean, I respect my boy Tio and I love his ambition. I mean, I will say that. But Terrence is a different breed, man. Terrence is a dog. I honestly feel like Terrence is the best boxer on the planet right now. when in terms of like all of his accomplishments and what he's done in the sport of boxing and in his years in the game. You just gotta kind of like crown him with that. But yeah, T.O. is an ambitious guy, and look, he's gonna have his naysayers. Like honestly, I would favor Terrence Crawford over that, but hey, a lot of people favored Lomachenko over him when he fought him. Like they really gave T.O. no chance. Oh, he didn't have enough experience. He didn't have this, didn't have that. Listen, that's just something for T.O. to use as motivation and kind of shut his naysayers down and make them naysayers believers. Hey, listen, make me a believer, bro. Hey, I respect him. I respect the game, and I would like to see if that fight can be made.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be and it maybe kind of maybe not settle it because there'll always be a dispute, but I mean at least the first two males that can say, oh, I was undisputed in two divisions. I mean, they could just hash it out together in the ring and see who just is the better fighter, period, right?
Yeah.
Right.
True. That's true.
Just going back to yourself, man, you're at 126 and Nua is at 122.
Mm.
I heard you in a Ron video with Fight Hype talking about, this next year you want to get to like contender status, maybe like title challenger status, and then, in 2025, if Anua comes up, which, it seems like,
Mm.
about a year, he might be looking for other challenges. Are you already kind of looking at Anua and kind of thinking like, I mean, are you got your passport ready to go to Japan in 2025?
I mean, man, he can also have his passport ready to come out here to come to New York too, because it's a big Japanese Japanese it's not about Japanese people in New York. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, he could that could be big too. But I will say that I'm seeing him just dusting through these guys in these divisions, bro. So I'm like, that he's gonna want to book. He's the type of fighter that wants to challenge himself. He's gonna want to go up in the weight division and continues to do his thing up there and too. So I knew it was only a matter of time to where I know that he's gonna come to 126. I will say that I'm really trying to make sure I position myself for the time that he does come to 126, so I could just be knocking on that door and I'll be able to fight him. You know what I mean? I'm one of those guys that like testing myself against people that they say are great, and in a way, is a great fighter. He's great, one of the top pound for pound guys, unarguable. You can't argue the fact that he is the man right now in the lower divisions. So I feel like to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I'm definitely gonna take my time in 2024 to position myself to be able to fight a guy like him. And I plan to expose in a way, but I want to do that with each and every one of my opponents. Like, yeah, I don't want to just make it about Inoue. I want to fight Ray Vargas, uh, Renato Lopez, whoever's going to take the WBA champ, um, Rafael Espinoza, anybody. I want all of them. And this, just what I said about Inoue goes for everybody.
Right. Inoue is fighting Louis Neary. Neary tested positive, a couple years back and was overweight, and it seems like the lifetime ban came off. Now it seems to be kind of all clear to fight in Japan. How do you think that fight goes? And I mean, are there a whole lot more challenges for Inoue in that division? After Neary?
After Neri, I'm honestly not sure. I think Neri would probably be the last guy. Like, so I don't really know what if Inoue decides to go to 126 to 2025, then I'm like, that. What's the point? What's the wait for? I think it's gonna happen in 2024, realistically. So I
Mhm.
feel like once he fights in Luis Nery, and if he is successful, then because I don't want to underestimate any opponents, you know what I'm saying, for him or anybody. So I feel like the only thing that he should do is come to 126. But when it comes to 126, man, there's some dogs up here. Like I will say, the competition level is different. He's not gonna, have that same effect when it comes to, um, just the way how he's fighting and stuff like that. Like granted, like he fights well, but there's some dogs up here in this division, and I'm one of them. And I'm letting them know, like and everybody in the division know, like I'm gonna be the biggest problem in the division. So yeah, I feel like him coming up at 126 is gonna be really challenging for him, and I'm interested to see how he does though.
Yeah, I know you spar, a lot of these kind of guys coming up, with your come up. I know you sparred Tank. I believe you sparred Shakur as well, correct?
Yeah, plenty times.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about the difference between those guys as far as like strategically in the ring. What are you strategically thinking about with Tank? What are you strategically thinking about with Shakur when you're in there?
Well, Shakur is more so like a guy that you have to figure out a way to cut his distance because he's a master at his distance. And then when you're in there, you got to kind of, you know, throw like off tempo or awkward shots to get certain things off. Because if you do things that are like kind of like natural and rehearsed that you do on the pads or early drills, like he's automatic when it comes to reacting to those things and has great pinpoint counters. Now then when it comes to Tank, Tank is more so like there's a lot of things you got to worry about with Tank. You know what I mean? Like people underestimate his boxing ability. He knows how to play the clock. He knows how to, smother you, and he has great power, good speed, great explosiveness. There's a lot of things you have to worry about. But I feel like if you're able to, keep your distance and hit him with like a lot of like long straight punches, and like stay off the line when it comes to fighting with him, I feel like you'll do good. Like Mario Barrios, he had a good game plan until he started to get a little too comfortable in the later rounds, and then he started getting caught a little bit more often. First few rounds in that fight, though, he had the perfect game plan to deal with Tank.
Hmm. Man, it's been great, Shu Shu, talking to you, man. My last question, man, I'm kind of asking everybody just who is pound for pound the best fighter on Twitter right now?
On Twitter.
On Twitter. It's pound for pound
Yo, it's so
best
funny
fighter
because
on
everybody's
Twitter.
just going at it right now, bro. I have no idea, man. I'm not really on Twitter like that, but I see certain things. But to answer the question for you, I wouldn't. I'm the wrong person to answer that, man. I'm not really into all that, bro. Like, I see Tank is in it with, people. I'm seeing Shakur. I'm seeing Richardson Hitchens in it, and Terrence Crawford answering back. Like, I'm seeing so many things, bro. It's a mess right now. It's just I'm just sitting back and just enjoying the entertainment, man.
Just eating your popcorn and enjoying it.
Yeah, man. Word, bro. It's
Yeah.
just it's a treat to see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the fans can eat their popcorn and, watch you do your thing February 16th, man. The return of Bruce Shu Shu's Carrington. Thank you so much for your time, man. Can't wait to see you do your work as usual.
Thank you, man. You guys can tune in. ESPN, the Shu Shu Show comes back on, man. We come to
There it
take
is.
over.
Appreciate it. Thank you.